Now this is some proper sailing. I have just left Monfalcone. This is Monfalcone, Italy. Venice is just 1 hour drive up there, so I'm like almost close to the Venice. Not much wind today, but with this super cool gin anchor and this super fast boat, I'm actually moving. See, like there is like no wind, but you can see I am moving pretty nicely. I have a lot of luggage, so I have covered this with this neoprene. I have food and stuff in 2 bags. I'll show later, but this is like a perforated neoprene from Sandyline, and it keeps everything in the shade. And then I have more stuff here and just covered with my, it's like a seat, like a backrest. And there's also a chair, like a low chair, so I can see it. I have an anchor, and oh, I just picked up some speed. I just love it. I have 33 square meters of sails up here, and you can see like almost no wind. And I just picked up more speed now. So I'm heading now towards Croatia, and hopefully I'm gonna reach it, otherwise I have to stop in Slovenia. I have made some reefs on this mainsail, so we have 3 reefs. That's what people usually don't have. And because usually the sail, you know, hooks on the top, I just made the Dinema halyard and these cleats here on that side. So the actually halyard is now just like a traditional one. I don't have to hook on the top. I just hope this is gonna work in long term, but pretty cool now. So I have 3 reefs, which is good because this boat in strong winds you get overpowered very quickly, so I'm gonna be able to sail in very strong winds. So what's the thing with this head? I've had this head for many years, probably 10 years now. Maybe it looks funny, but it's insulated. You see, it's like a foam, and you have a net here, so basically you have a breeze all the time and you have no radiation from the sun. So you're putting up this, it's like being in a deep shade, you know, like a really good roof. And you know, you should get this from Kavu Shiba hat. Get one of these, the best hat ever, like seriously. And if it's raining, again, it's waterproof, so it keeps your head dry. But the most important, if you have like a normal hat everybody has, it's hot, it's radiating, and your head is kind of warming up. Here you have a nice breeze, insulation, the best thing ever. And this seat, this is like a low foldable seat. You know, it's from Decathlon, doesn't cost much, but here now I have a backrest, and this is like a pretty comfortable position right now. It's good for like low winds, you know, when we would have like strong winds, probably it's not gonna work really well. And that's when I can use just this rest. See, this is like just a low seat. This is some reinforcement here, and then this is safer in strong winds. But anyway, you don't want to be sitting there with your back like this for weeks. Your back's probably gonna hurt. And this is pretty comfortable. You can get some of those, you know, like you have these wings, but actually for this boat you can get them. I just couldn't get them, they're too expensive. So I could have these sitting wings, and I think next time I'm just gonna build them, so you can sit higher up your dryer, and you can have a, like, you know, a lean backwards. So that's the next improvement. Getting close to the boats and the wind. See this speed, not much wind around here, like very low wind and really decent speed. And it's so much fun to sail when the water is flat, low winds, and you have plenty of sail. Performance boat. Oh, picking up more. You see, instantly you start going much faster. Very good acceleration, beautiful. And I'm having this shirt. This is Columbia PFG. I got it from here, it should be written Kaikanani. It's the big catamaran sailing in Hawaii, from Maui. So they gave me this as a present. It's the best gift I'll ever get. It just reflects the sun, and right being here, it just feels like in the shade. It's like far the best shirt I ever had, Omni shade. It just feels great. So in combination with this hat and this, and I'm also wearing long, this is like just hiking pants, very thin ones, because you do want to stay protected from the sun. Of course, it wouldn't be me if I wouldn't have Crocs. And actually I have a spare pair, just the same ones inside in that hatch. So I have 2 pairs of Crocs on this trip, because if I lose one, I'm gonna need a spare one. And this is it. I want to keep, you know, myself in the shade. And I'm probably gonna be wearing also sailing gloves, although you see, like, put this finger, so you can put your finger like this to have more protection. But then again, see, the fingers are on the sun, and when you spend weeks and weeks in the sun, not good. So I'm gonna have a gloves, wearing sailing gloves. Many people here just having fun. It's August, high season, people enjoying swimming, eating, drinking wine and beer. And I'm getting more and more wind, so everything looking good. We're on schedule. Sails are super happy. What a beautiful day. I've now passed these boats and the wind picked up. You see, this was a lagoon and now this is a little bit more open. See, it's very shallow up there, you can see, very shallow. So I'm gonna go around that red lighthouse, and this is so much fun. Full sails, acceleration. That's how the sailing should look like. So now I'm sailing upwind as much as I can with this spinnaker, and because these boats are so fast, they make so much apparent wind that you're basically sailing upwind all the time, because you move so fast that you change the angle of the wind. That direction, that peninsula down there, that's what I have to reach. This is Croatia, and all this in front of me, this is Slovenian coast. And I'm just gonna skip Slovenia and go directly to Croatia. Looking good. In front of me, my friend Rudy on a Hobie 14, having fun from the same club, just enjoying the beautiful day. A nice boat, this 14. I sailed this one and I liked a lot. And actually, even with my heavy weight, oops, some waves. Yeah. That's why we don't like powerboaters. And there it is, Rudy, enjoying the day. And if I keep a good angle, so I have to go kind of straight, but seems like it's gonna be too much for the spinnaker because I cannot sail. See, as soon as I try to point where I want to go, it starts collapsing. But it would be so cool if I could keep the sail up, just gives me more speed. So cool. I'll have to put this sail down and put a Genoa. The angle is just too sharp. And these animals in front of me, you don't usually see them in the salt water. And around here, this is a mixture of fresh and salt water, because you get a lot of rivers coming from down the Italy. So it's super nice to see them around here. Yeah, they don't seem to be bothered with me. Hey guys, I'm just gonna pass by, don't worry. I'm not gonna harm you, just enjoy your swim. Yeah, nice birds. Pull this one a little bit. So I have changed now for the flock, or the bigger one would be Genoa. And the name Genoa, you see, like further up there on the other side of Italy, there's a city Genoa. And there was this captain whose name was Genoa. And that's how the name came. He was the first that puts this front sail, and it was the first time for in that times. So they just named that sail Genoa because the captain was his name was Genoa. So I have a little bit better angle now. Still might not be good enough, but hopefully the winds usually turn behind the sun, so they will be shifting. So I'm going as sharp as possible. You see, I'm like kind of pushing it upwind. So it's good for now. I still have a good speed. So I didn't lose much speed with just you know, changing these sails, because now I'm sailing more upwind and then I produce more wind, because these boats are all about apparent wind. So the more upwind you go, the more wind you produce, the faster you go. Pretty cool, but I'm pushing it too much. This is a great shirt. You see, now when the sun is going down, I get a lot of reflection and I'm actually covering my face very well. Really good stuff. So I'm sailing upwind, a little bit choppy, but seems like I'm gonna have a good angle, so I won't need to tack, and I'm gonna go directly to Croatia. And then with this speed, this is pretty fast. With this speed I should be there probably in 2 hours. Soon enough for the sunset beer. Looking good. I made it to Croatia. Down there you can see the lighthouse. That's Zadar Lighthouse. And then down there you can see Slovenia. And then Croatia. And I came down there from Italy. Wind just picked up again. So I'm gonna make it. I have maybe 1 or 2 more miles to go. So I'm gonna be at beer time in 2 nautical miles. It's gonna be a beautiful sunset. And look at these sails. This is so much fun. The boat is just flying and there's not much wind. These catamarans are just they're just amazing. So much fun. Well, good morning from Croatia. This is the first night here in Zambratia, and I've just put this small tent. It's just an inner part. You can also put the outer part, and I have connected it with the rope to the mast, so you see it's more stable. And I'm on the buoy. I just found the buoy, and that was a pretty nice first night. Usually the first night is not the best, but this was pretty good. It's very calm now. It was, and you can see how clear the water is. I packed the sail here on the luggage forward, and there's just enough space to have this tent. It's kind of a squeeze, but it's fine. Doesn't look like much wind today. It should slowly pick up, but not much. But luckily I have this rocket machine, and I should be able to move a little bit, going towards south, towards South Istria. So I was hoping to get to around Pula area. That's around 50 miles, but the winds are not very strong today. Anyway, I'm very happy to have this hat with me. The best ever. And the worst part traveling like this is packing. Now, I don't like packing everything in and out now, but that's just what you have to do. Not much wind, still waiting. Hopefully day winds pick up. It's not looking good, but I need just a couple of knots. So this is where I slept yesterday down there. I can see I'm hardly moving, trying to dry out my clothes a little bit, but it seems like it's picking up a little bit. And they said a little bit of day winds, and that's all I need, a little bit with all these sails. See, it's already getting better. I'm moving 3 times faster now than I was 10 minutes ago, and that's a good sign. And the sail started to do some trouble, which is good. That means there's some wind. Okay, let's pull this rope. Maybe this is gonna help. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's inflate this. Okay, this looks much happier sail than earlier. Let's see the speed. Okay, we started moving. Put a little bit of this in so that I don't go too much sideways. Oh, we just started moving with no winds. Okay, release this one a little bit. Okay, and hold this one. I would need more hands. Oh, we're moving. That's nice, you see? From 0 to hero. You just need a little bit of wind and you start moving like this. This is so cool. I'm doing so well now. So I released a little bit on the Traveler, so the sail is more out, and the gen anchor is more open because I have winds from kind of the side, which is perfect. So I'm kind of going downwind. I'm having a very good speed, so this is probably at least 4 knots, maybe 4.5. and that's all I need to be happy. Out there you can see the other boats, nobody's sailing because this is not enough wind for a normal boat. But with this rocket catamaran, see, you can sail even if there's not much wind. I'm just flying. I love this. So I have pulled my fins, dagger boards, all the way up, and that one's all the way up. And I also lifted up my rudder, so now I only have one rudder in the water, just to have as little drag as possible, because I'm going downwind now, and going downwind you don't need these boards. This is just to prevent you going from sideways when you're sailing, you know, more upwind. And I have attached my sheet from the gen anchor here, so I have to hold it, kind of set my sails, and now all it's left just to sail and enjoy. Just sit here and enjoy the day. Not bad at all. And it's kind of cool because I'm in the shade of the sail, so it's not hot, it's very pleasant. There's a lot of boats around, nobody's really sailing, but seems like I have the same speed as the other sailing boats have with the engines. This is gonna be a nice day, the sails are happy. This is cool. I've also attached myself, you see I'm hooked all the way, and it's a very long rope. I want to have a very long rope, because if I fall in, this boat would just keep going maybe a couple hundred meters until, you know, it would eventually turn upwind and flap. It has a really good stability, you know, keeping the direction. So you do want to be hooked in, otherwise the boat is gone. See, the boat is very low in the water. The Hobie 16 is higher. This one's very low, so I keep getting wet if there's some waves from the boats, which there's many. It's high season, so a lot of power boats going around. There's two sailboats in front of me sailing, and let's see how much faster I am. Getting close to the first boat. They're basically not moving. They're opening now the second sail. So look at my speed, look at how this boat is moving, and look at them. I'm just gonna fly past them. Now there's another one in front and another one, so everybody's using mostly, okay, that one has two sails, but when going downwind everybody just opens the Genoa, which makes them even slower. So it's been 5 minutes and you can see the difference of speed. I'm still doing really well. Now I just caught up to the second boat, and they have a code 0 and full main, so they have a good set of sails. It just seems like they're not moving at all. See, these big boats, they just need a lot more wind, but with these rocket catamarans, you see it's hardly blowing, and I'm gonna catch more of these big cruisers a bit forward. That's what I always said, these boats don't have enough sails. It could be a great sailing day like I'm having, you see. This is very enjoyable sail, but now those big boats, they just need so much wind. Wind is now more from backwards, so I'm going more downwind. I have the sails more open, which also makes me a little bit slower because the wind is a little bit less strong. But down there you can see the sailboat with the gen anchor, and now you can see how much faster I am. Like, those boats are just too heavy, they don't have enough sails, and you can see like the difference. I'm just like passing by. They just seem like they're not moving at all. So cool. And down there you can see one boat with a gen anchor, and that boat was far down, I couldn't really see it, but now I caught up. So this is the magic of this catamaran. They're just light and they have so much sail area. And then even in conditions like this, see, not much wind, you can move, you know, pretty nicely. So the gen anchor boat far behind, and now I just caught up with another one, and you can see they're like almost going backwards. And I have just passed Novigrad, and I can see Vrsar all the way in front of me. And then there's gonna be a town of Rovinj, which is like a beautiful one. Also Vrsar is beautiful. And then slowly Brioni and Pula. So we'll see how much wind I have today. But hopefully it stays until evening, so I can keep sailing all the afternoon. Sun is going down slowly, and I just got some nice breeze and actually going in the right direction. The sails are super happy, and in front of me you can see Brioni Islands. I've had some trouble finding a good bay. Wherever I wanted to be was either not possible. Now the sun is setting and I'm just right here. This is kind of sheltered. I just have to sail now a little bit upwind. Okay, the wind came back. I was paddling. I have this small paddle 5 minutes ago, so I'm gonna drop anchor somewhere here, and that's gonna be good for the night, and then tomorrow I keep going down. So this is Pula here. It's a very big city. And then Brioni Islands National Park, very nice place. And yeah, I'm pretty happy I found a good spot. It's not easy always because you want to push, you know, to make a bigger distance, and then if the wind stops or whatever, you might be in trouble. But today I'm gonna be okay. This is the cabin on a small catamaran. I'm drying out my sleeping bag, so I cannot really complain, right? Look, I have a window. I have a big window here. It's like not much to complain. It's just like the cheapest Decathlon tent I could buy, and it's working. And when there's a lot of splash from underneath, you see this is a waterproof. It's quite high. So although the boat is very low, see, I stay dry. So this tent is working much better than I thought, and I really like this rope. If there would be a strong wind, you see, you just wouldn't be able to move. Now what happened yesterday, I forgot one rope and then it got stuck up when I was raising a mainsail. So eventually I had to tip the boat over, which was great because I also had opportunity to try if I can, you know, bring it back with all the luggage, because it's more heavy now. So I did that, and the good news is I can recover the boat from 90 degrees, and that's why I have on the top, you see the two canisters, and they prevent that the boat wouldn't go, you know, all the way down the mast turtle. So it stays like this, and then I can recover it, although I have this luggage. The problem is that the one where I keep my clothes obviously wasn't closed well, and I got a lot of water in. So in the evening I opened all the clothes, everything was wet, and there was a couple of liters of the water inside, and everything started stinking. So the good news is that there is a sun, I'm gonna dry it. The bad news is everything is salty and stinky, but that's how it is when you're sailing around this like this. You're gonna be wet, stinky and salty. So the first damage I have is this thing. You see, just after a couple hours of using, this is my seat, which is a great thing, but you see it already popped out. You see, such a bad design. It should be like, anyway, that's the worst design I've ever seen. So this is the first damage. Anyway, nice morning here. I'm just close to Pula, so there's this water breaker. Half of it is missing, and then the big village Pula is in there. It's not the nicest place, but this is what I got. But once now I go past Pula and I cross to Kvarner, that's where the nice waters start. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty tired because the first days on the boat, everything is new. Everything is a struggle because you have to move on your 4 hands and legs and you're not used to it, but then slowly you get used to it. You build up the muscles necessary to move around this boat. I'm gonna sort out the things a little bit better, so to make my life easier. Organization on the boat is crucial because you don't want to search for everything. It's already hard to go there and open and close and have a helm in one hand, so you just want to make everything as simple as possible. So I'm gonna organize this now and have a nice sailing there. There's a little bit of wind starting out already, so I'm hoping for the day winds and hope to cross the Kvarner, so cross to the other islands. So I found a great way how to, you know, collapse this tent and put it up. So basically what you do, you have to step in here, see, and then you can just, see, do these things. Go little by little, and this one, and now this one, and then you just pull the thing out and pull out the other side. Okay, and that's it. You see, I just have to collapse this thing. And the same thing for putting it up. So it's super easy. Basically you step into the tent, put the poles, super cool. Anchor is up, so now I'm gonna paddle to get across there. There's a small beach, and I'm gonna try to dry everything. Back again. There's a little bit of wind starting already. And it's actually pretty easy to row this boat because it's very light, and this small paddle, the baby paddle, is enough. It's collapsible, and I can just, you see, sit down here, and in the other hand I have the steering. It's pretty easy to move, and there's no wind, of course. See, this is the paddling speed. It's not super fast, but I'm moving pretty fast, and this is just with one hand. It's easy to go across the bay. Drying out clothes, so you can see what I have. Just a normal shirt, fleece upper part, 2 sun shirts, and then 1 sun pants, a short neoprene. There's say like a waterproof jacket and waterproof pants. This is light. And then there's a dry suit. First time in the warm climate I'm using it. And then, oh yeah, the fleece long pants, hats, socks, couple things. Not much, but just adds up, and then you have a full boat. Early day winds, speed just like yesterday, downwind, but there's so many boats going around. This is high season now. But like you see, the sail is banging all the time. There's like waves everywhere. There's not just the waves from the sea, but it's everything is like blum blum. So many small boats, annoying, but it's gonna get better. So now I have 2 hours to the end of Istria, and then I have this big crossing of Kvarner, which is 15 nautical miles. And I hope the wind's gonna last, because I don't want to get stuck in between. There's a lot of big ships, shipping lanes, but it's looking good. And anyway, with this Janakar and rocket boat, it should be quite easy today. It seems like day winds all day, so I should make good progress. All good. I have other shirt now, but it's more wet. Everything is kind of stinky. The thing is, like, you see, everything gets wet anyway, so I mean, I dried out, I put it back into the dry bag, and it's gonna just make more smell in there. But on the other hand, I could have it here, it would get just more wet. So I just need to find a good solution for the clothes to, you know, I don't know. I just get wet all the time. You see, it's so low, the boat, so basically wet all the time. It's summer, it's good. But then again, if I had a dry suit, I would be dry, but it's too hot to have a dry suit. So if this would be winter, I could just have a dry suit and there would be no trouble. But in summer, but it's warm, so no complaints. Going south. All those power boats just making these huge waves. Another one down there. You see, they're just like, they make so much waves. But now I've just put the, you know, the blue line, so now the sail doesn't move. That's a good improvement. Just like so many boats, up and down all the time, since yesterday, all the time. Just that's some nonsense. See, that's why we don't like these power boaters. Sun is very strong, but now with my Kaikanani shirt from Hawaii and this thing, I'm not getting sunburned anymore. Yesterday I wear it a lot. I also put this hood when the sun is very low, and actually it's doable. I mean, as long as there's some breeze, it's not hot, you can breathe. It's just like a little bit stinky now because it was wet during the night, but really good protection. We're not using much this in this area. I mean, nobody has it. You cannot even buy. I've seen fishermen in Caribbean using it, and this is really good stuff. It just protects my skin and I'm not sunburned. Good stuff. So, oh no, what did just happen? I just lost the wind. That's not a good sign. I hope it comes back. Might be just for a second. Ah, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, it might be, this might be steer the morning wind from the other side. Okay, time to do some maneuver. I'm having these super cool winds. This is the passage, 15 miles, Hvar. So lucky. I thought I'm not gonna catch this morning wind Bora, but I'm lucky. Look at this. I'm gonna be across in no time. So lucky. These winds, they go during the morning and then they stop, but sometimes they stay longer, so I'm super lucky. It's around 11-12 and it's gonna be just enough. I'm gonna be across an hour and a half. So good. Just, oh mamma mia, this is great. Perfect wind. There's a sea turtle. This is very rare to see. You can see it down there. Sea turtle. Anyway, the winds dropped. I'm around 4 to 5 miles to the islands. I've crossed this very quickly, but the morning winds didn't last long enough. Now I just have to wait with this miserable banging until there's a shift to the day winds. So it might be soon, it might be in 1 hour, might be in 3 hours. But anyway, I'm pretty sure they are coming, hopefully. Otherwise it's gonna be a very long paddle to that island, but I'm pretty sure the winds will pick up. This is not fun. Sails banging, no wind. That's pretty miserable. Pretty lucky today. The day winds have just started, and maybe I waited 15 minutes banging, so super lucky. So I can continue now, and they're just gonna, you know, keep going up, getting stronger. So this could be a very nice afternoon sailing with this day winds, and they should be, you know, more from behind, which means all day with this anchorage and just going south. Now this is island Unia, so I have crossed Hvar. This is Istria down there. This is this passage, and now we have Unia, we have island Susak, and I'm gonna continue now. And there's no more big passages. There's gonna be some islands around all the time, so it's a little bit easier. So eating mostly is like one hand here, you put in mouth, milk and milk. No, you eat. See, that's what we don't like. They just make waves. Waves for no reason. I have a hard time keeping my sails inflated, and then these guys go so close. Arr. Anyway, good mostly. There's so much sea left because of the morning wind, and the day wind is just picking up, so I keep banging and banging. Anyway, it's so funny when you eat sardines and you're on the sea, right? Doesn't make sense. Like, couldn't I just catch a fresh fish? But this is easier. It's good. Banging and banging. And some dessert. Trying to keep sails inflated. Okay. Yeah, good. Good stuff. I like dry cookies. Not too sweet. It's perfect for sailing. Down there, another turtle. Second turtle today, that's good luck. It's a little bit smaller one, but so nice to see them. 2 in couple hours. Wish I would be so lucky with wind and the sails. But I'm moving, I'm getting there. Island is getting bigger and bigger, and I'm getting closer and closer. Very lazy day winds, but maybe picking up now. And I'm just here in front of Island Unia. This is town Unia. You can see it's beautiful here. Oh, should steer the boat instead of talk. Okay, so I'm gonna go down there around that corner to go around this island, but beautiful water, beautiful town. And then behind down there you can see Susak, another beautiful island. Day winds have kicked in and this is looking promising. What an acceleration. Just look at this. Just flying downwind. Ah, this is great. Anchored for the night. There's some music in the bay. This is gonna be, see, it's just sand. When the sun pops out, this is gonna be such a nice place. So I put one line to that log. Hopefully it's gonna be strong enough, and then I dropped anchor in front. And it's just a beautiful place for night calm. I think the nicest so far. It's gonna be a great night. Good morning. A beautiful lagoon here. There's some boats, but they're all the way out there. And this tent just fits. It's pretty cool. I have a second reef. This is Bora. It's morning and night wind and it can be very gusty. So very quickly it gets too much. So it's still doing a very good speed. Could have a full main now, but then in a second you have a big gust. It's actually now dropping down already. In the morning it was stronger, but still very strong gusts. You don't want to mess up with Bora. See, then just slows down and then picks up again. Okay, picked up again a little bit. Actually with this sail I'm very comfortable. You can feel the reduced size, although the speed is still very good. And I have my sandy line weather gear, the best. This is a very wet ride. Oops. See, and then it stops again, and then you wait for another gust, and it can come very, very strong. Sometimes down the valleys it just channelizes, so even this second reef might be way too much, so I have to be ready all the time. See, it doesn't look bad, but then suddenly it comes, the famous Bora. Okay, there's a gust. Woohoo! Woohoo! Morning Bora is slowly stopping. It's actually nice to have a second reef because the sail is just banging much less. And that's a good solution, putting a line there so you fix the traveler so it's not banging so much. So that it is, slowing down. And then again waiting for the day winds, and they pick up whenever they pick up. But luckily I'm going down there, that is Zadar. So we have just passed Marilošin, Ilovik, now we have Silba Olib, and I go to the Zadar channel, and that channel is famous for day winds. They accelerate there, so as soon as I get there I'm gonna have very good winds. But now I just hope the day winds pick up quickly, so I'm not gonna be banging up and down on these waves. See, the waves stay, the wind stops, and then it's just rocking you left and right. It's kind of miserable. I have my water here in these canisters, and they just fit in these thermo bags, you know, just cheap thermo bags, but it actually keeps it cool. And I cover with this perforated neoprene sheet. This has some kind of holes, and it stays you know, relatively cold. It doesn't heat up, so it's great. They just fit in here, so lucky. And the winds are slowly picking up, see, more and more, so it's gonna be a great day sailing. There's a beautiful island down there, people swimming. And down there I go to Zadar channel, where the winds are gonna pick up even more. And I think I'm gonna keep my second reef because I expect a lot of winds, and I'm gonna be using Gennaker anyway, so maybe just safer. And I have to thank to some people. Firstly, family Malacek from Austria for helping me buy this boat. It's a great little boat, performance. And then Supreme Sails for fixing my sails, making these great reefs, and making my sails work for many years now. Of course, Sandy Line for all the equipment, dry suit, all the suits. Thank you for supporting me for these years. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Winds are picking up very slowly, so I'm experimenting now with the jib. So I'm going downwind quite a lot. So I have opened the mainsail a lot, and actually with the second reef you can kind of open it more without putting too much pressure on the shrouds. Some waves banging me. Anyway, I just opened the jib, and it seems like it's not interfering with the Gennaker at some surface area. And because it's much lower, you see, now I'm going downwind and the Gennaker leg is up. So this area down here is now nicely filled with the jib, and seems like it's working so far. So down there it's Zadar channel. You can see the mountains of the valley bit, and this is Pag. And I'm gonna be very soon in the Zadar channel, where the winds are definitely gonna pick up for some fun sailing. Okay, day winds are back. Second reef, Gennaker, and we're flying. Look at this. This is like a powerboat. Weird. Down there you can see Zadar, and this is the Zadar channel, and that's where the winds are guaranteed. And I'm gonna have good winds and a good speed. Down there there's one boat with a Gennaker I just passed by. There's one boat under the engine, a sailboat, and it seems like I'm faster. And then down there there's a big monohull, which I'm catching very quickly. It's so much fun to be on this boat because it's actually sailing like it should. Like, this is the sailing boat, and I'm just flying down. And my bows, you see, I have all the luggage forward, and I'm sitting, you know, kind of here in the middle, and the bows of my catamaran are not digging in at all. You see, I have a second reef, Gennaker, and the boat feels like really comfortable, very safe, like no issues at all, very easy to steer, very easy. And just surfing down the waves, you really want to surf down the waves. The only thing, when you have big waves, it's very low boat, so it starts splashing. Sometimes it just hits my luggage and I stop a little bit, but otherwise it's a rocket boat. Of course it's not designed for what I'm doing, so that's why these problems. Another good thing why it's good to have a second reef, you see there's a lot of wind, so in case I would change my direction for some reason, so I would put my kite down and I would have to steer somewhere else, like the full main, that would be a lot of power, maybe too much. So right now this is very safe because it's very easy to put down the gennaker, and then I'm just left with this, which is good for any direction and good control, so I wouldn't be overpowered. Oh yeah, yeah, talking too much. So it's a good, great safety feature. See, once I put it, the wind is shifting a lot here. Okay, I got it. Maybe if I wasn't filming, would be better. See down there, the monohull? I'm catching so quickly. So when I get a good wave, I have to pull a gennaker to get some speed to serve the wave. Okay, wee, and then just release it. Oops, no, messed it up. Let's try it again. So find a wave. Full speed. Another wave. Surfing, turning downwind, and releasing the sail. So I have to keep working here. Okay, another wave. Get speed. Surf and down. Woohoo! Oppa! Oi 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 oi! Should have two hands for this. Okay, another one. And just fly, fly. Flying. And still I'm sitting all the way forward, and the bows, they have no issues. This boat is kind of flat. It's not like V-shaped like the Hobie 16 or Dart. It's kind of flat, so it just seems like it starts surfing and then it's pushing the bows out. So in this situation it just feels great. See, the boat just wants to surf. Now the wind's really picked up here in the channel, and quite a lot of waves, just surfing, flying. Woohoo! Oi, oi, oi. Oh, that's a big one. Oi, oi, oi. I'm gonna skip this one, and I want a pitch pole. Okay, and here we go again. Some are just scary big waves, so I just steer downwind and let the gennaker go if necessary. I don't want to jump over them and pitch pole. So by going downwind I can decrease the speed a little bit, like this. You know, I slow down, and then going to the left I can pick up some speed and start surfing. Whoa! So I can control what's going on, kind of. So like from here I can slow down the boat. Gennaker is kind of, you see, still full but kind of empty. I slowed down the boat, but then very quickly you can pick up the speed. So just a little bit to the left. Gennaker still nice. and then when you catch a good wave, you just fly. That was a nice cold night. Well, I only reached, this is Pashman, the end of the Pashman. So I was 10 miles short to get this nice morning winds around Šibenik area, the local morning Bora. But down there you can see that the day winds are starting already, because this is the place for the day winds. So I'm drying out my clothes a little bit using this time, and I guess in 1 hour I'll be able to start sailing. So it seems like a very nice day, very strong day winds forecasted. So I'm gonna keep my second reef, because yesterday just seemed like having a second reef on the main and using a gennaker. And then I guess afternoon I'm gonna put the gennaker down, just use a jib, and it's gonna be plenty of sail area to be safe. Now it's time to swim, get ready, and hopefully these things dry out as much as possible. A lot of people already, they wake up very early and they come for a swim. But you can see the winds are picking up slowly, so have a swim and then time to go. Everything is constantly wet, so very hard to dry out anything. And if it's not totally dry, you put it in a dry bag and then it just starts stinking. But slowly I'm drying out everything and making sure I don't get things too wet. But anyway, high season is here, and that's how it looks. No privacy, like one boat and another one. It's time for me to go on. And there's so many nice bays, but look at this. You don't want to be here. So one of the problem is salty sunglasses all the time, and you don't have much water to clean. So I figure out the best method is like this. So you get salt off. They're still kind of dirty. I don't know why, because I could damage them. So you just like drip them. Eventually the water dries off. It's not the best, but it's way better than having them salty, because in 1 hour they're gonna be salty again. So that's all you do. When you put them on, you see a little bit not good, because you have water, but they dry out very quickly, and then it's okay. It's all about the protection. And this hat, this is just the best ever. It's because it's foam, it just keeps, you know, the sun radiation, the heat away. And this shirt, this is like really thumbs up. Good stuff. Day winds are slowly picking up, so I've started. I have a second reef already, because I'm expecting a very strong winds later, so I don't want to mess with this. I have a good system, but still, you know, when it gets windy, you don't want to be reefing. It's not that easy, and this sail is quite fragile if you so better would be duck run. So I'll just keep a second reef, and I'm gonna put on the gennaker, and that seems like it's fast enough. It could be fast with full main, but you know, it's fast enough with the gennaker. And then later, as I've said, probably just Genoa and the second reef. Anyway, good winds for all day, should cover a good distance, and I should be in Dubrovnik in a couple days. There's so many of these small power boats. So annoying. Like, you cannot sail. It's light winds, so you need calm waters, but constantly there's some waves. There's constantly one big boat passing. It's not a problem with the sailboats, they don't do much wave, but look at that big one down there. Like, he's making a monstrous wave. Terrible. Just terrible. That's how it should be. Calm, but then somebody passes. The day winds have picked up. Woohoo! Fly in. Suddenly they pick up. Woohoo! Okay, this is fast. Should be using both hands right now. So a quick video. That's gonna be a quick day. Wind, sun is still low and the winds are strong. And that's a sign the gennaker is not gonna be up all day. It's gonna be too windy. Fly in. So I'm happy again. I only have a second reef on the main. So much easier to control the boat. I hope to keep a gennaker up as long as possible because I like the speed. But probably it's gonna be too much in a couple hours. It calmed down a little bit, so I had time to put full weather gear and I'm ready for more winds. Now I'm passing Island Murter. A lot of boats today here is Friday, so they have to return the boats because charter ends Friday. A lot of people sailing, and down there I'm gonna go towards Primošten between these small islands, and then I'm gonna be half of Croatia. I'm sitting all the way in the back. Great conditions. Woo! Mamma mia! This is flying. This is fast. Woo! Big gusts coming over the island. I keep my weight here. I don't want to make a salto. Pitch pole. Big gusts coming. More on the way. So I'm just steering like this. Shouldn't be filming now, but this is so much fun. Oi, oi, oi! Whoa, mamma mia! That's a big gust. I don't think I want to be going so fast. That's a big one. See, the water is splashing, even though now there's not big waves, but in the big waves it's even worse. Even now the boat is very low. There were huge gusts, so I had to put down the gennaker now, and the wind's gonna pick up a lot now, so I feel safer. Maybe a little bit underpowered now, so you could use more sails, but it's gonna pick up, so it's gonna be just fine. I'm still doing a very decent speed. It's not as much as before, but it's still fine. And when you get a big gust, you see, it's moving. So now I'm gonna go down there to Primošten around the tip. And there is Earth Ploče. It's a peninsula Ploče, which means half of Croatia. It's kind of border between north and the south Croatian coast. Well, it feels much safer now. It's second reef, so now I can relax a little bit, maybe eat something. Before, that was intense. That was fun and intense, and probably on the limit that I want to take. So now I'm pushed down and I don't want to get pushed to the mainland, so I have a little bit of my dagger board in, but there's still a current, and if the wind picks up I still have reserve. I can still furl my Genoa jib. and then just have a second reef, and that should be like I can take some serious winds with second reef on the main. But so far very good. See, winds are picking, the speed is picking up again, and we're flying again. On the camera it always looks easy. On the camera it's there's no waves, there's no wind. When you're out here wet and you can feel the gusts, it's a different story. If you don't believe me, try it. Winds have dropped and we're back to full speed with the Gennaker. That's so much fun, and I'm gonna go around this Earth Ploče, Peninsula Ploče in style with a Gennaker. So nice to have this sail. The winds are gonna slowly go down, but the waves are gonna stay, so it might be kind of annoying when they really drop. So I should find the bay for overnight as long as the winds are still up, but the sun is still pretty high up, so I'm just watching the sun. I don't have a watch, I just watch the sun, and that's all that matters. It tells me how much more time I have left and when the winds are gonna stop. That's all you need. Look at this. Instead of slowing down, he just gives full speed to make more waves. Like he could easily go behind, and now he just goes full speed to make waves. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And there it is, the green lighthouse. That is Earth Ploče, Peninsula Ploče, half of Croatian Sea. Nice to be here. There's one boat struggling with no Gennaker, underpowered. I'm just gonna fly past them. And I hope this wind stays for a couple more hours. It's much less windy, but a lot of waves, so if I lose the winds now, it's not gonna be fun. You can see how their Genoa is just causing trouble. Underpowered, heavy cruisers. But with the Gennaker, it's fun. The monohull is really struggling. It's not easy to sail downwind with just a Genoa and the main. Just bumping left and right to this wind while I'm surfing like this. Well, that's why Gennakers are for. Or Code Zero is good stuff to have. It would change their life from miserable to super fun sailing. Now as the waves have developed, I'm having so much fun surfing down them. I have enough power now with the Gennaker, so whenever there comes a good wave, I just fly. And now again, no good waves when I open the camera. The monohull is already so far away. So much fun with this performance boat. And that's what I say, these charter boats, like, they're not built for performance, everybody knows that. And also the catamarans, but that's a shame, because people should enjoy sailing and not driving a caravan. So you have a great surf, but then it just stops me because I'm so low. So again, a great surf, but the water just keeps splashing into the net and the luggage, because the wave is quite short and steep, so I just take it as a force, you know, like on both sides. This is Scholta. I'm gonna find a shelter in the bay in front of me. The winds are still strong. I'm thinking about putting down the Gennaker. Okay, a little bit better now. As soon as I take out the camera, it gets better. That's funny. A nice sunset again. So probably 30 more minutes and I hope I'm in a bay. This is north part of Šolta, Maslenica, behind this rock. So it's getting windier and windier, pushing it a little bit with the anchor. I'm gonna put it down soon and then just find the bay. I'm not sure exactly where the bay is and it's too wet to take out my navigation phone. So I'm just gonna follow the coast and I'm gonna recognize it. This is the bay for tonight. It's pretty sheltered, but still the waves are coming in. It's quite wavy, but it's gonna calm down, so it's gonna be a super calm night here. There's a small beach, a couple like summer houses. Nobody's here actually. The sun would be nice. In the morning it's gonna be way nicer. Now it's kind of cold already. Cooking pasta. I put in a cold water. So the reason why I don't put the water away, because water is precious. I don't have much water, and if I put this water away, then I would have to drink it, so why waste the water? And I just let it sit a little bit, and then it's like a soup with noodles. Just, you know, save water. And then if you wait a little bit, let it sit, then you get this overcooked pasta. So most of the water is sucked in. It's, I'm sorry Italians, it's overcooked pasta with ketchup and tuna. I'm really sorry. But it's how it is. I'm very sorry. I got some visitors. Luckily I'm leaving soon. Why do people always just... There's so much space on the other side, so many bays. And this guy comes exactly next to me. Well, who am I to judge? After 10 minutes he still doesn't get it. He's like 2 meters away from my boat. Still trying to figure out, is he gonna crash or he's not gonna crash. Incredible. Nice place. I was all alone at night. There's a couple of summer houses, a ruin. I guess people come here to spend their summer vacations. Kind of a nice forest, pine trees. This is probably a small water collector. That's where the locals get water. Not bad at all. Old ruin, but you can see how thick the walls are. And this has to be super old, and it's, I mean, it's still standing. It's not in perfect condition, but you see the walls. That's why it's so cold inside, because the sun wouldn't heat it. And then after the season, it retains the heat, so it stays warm when it gets colder. And just look at this view. I think this man was thinking. He built a house, probably a fisherman, exactly here, with a view to the bay, where he would keep his boat down there, go fishing. A beautiful bay. So I'm now watching the winds here, and once the day winds start, it's still pretty calm. And then I'm gonna sail across to Hvar and towards Korčula. There's the bay on the other side. Very nice. Couple of summer houses. Very small one, basic. Hard to get here. Probably just with a boat. Nice place. I just love pine trees and the crickets. You can notice all the trees are in this direction. It has to be very windy coming down all the time. So they're all leaning to this side. But it was too much for this one. went for a swim.
Ovako ljudi imaju, to se zove gustirna. Tu pada kiša I slijeva se tu.
So the water gets from here and then it collects in here. And I'm gonna fill my canister. The locals are gonna give me some fresh water. So the water is full and I'm ready to go. So I got water from this house. They have this well down there and then the water collects and apparently they just drink it. There's no filters, there's nothing. And this house also has its own, it's not a well, it just comes from the roof. So it's rainwater, collects in here. And then I asked if there's any filters and I said that no, that is good, they drink it. But I had some tablets, Catamaran tablets, I'm gonna put them in because I don't want to risk anything. I'm sure it's good water, but I'm extra cautious when sailing alone. So now just a short walk to my boat. So I have this, it should be 1 per liter. That's 10 liters. Well, I'm just gonna put 4 in because it should be clean water. I don't know, it should be enough, I guess. Wind slowly picking up. I have a full main today. I wasn't able to check weather forecast because there was no signal in there. So it's a very remote island. I mean, not so remote, but not many people living on it, especially not in this bay, hardly any phone signal. And I just met some great people and I got 10 liters of water, you know. It's just 10 liters of water, right? It's not much, but to me it means so much because now I can continue sailing for a couple more days. So that's enough water for me for 3 days. 10 liters for 3 days. And the water is so precious and I'm so happy. That's all I needed. Just 10 liters of water and now I can continue my journey. And people willing to share with me, although they don't have much. Luckily there was a lot of rain, so the collector of the water was totally full. But yeah, and it just seems like wherever there's not many things, people are willing to share more. So super happy to be in this bay and meet these people, and thank you very much for the water. There's some clouds on horizon. That could be a warning. See, it's very hazy today, so it's actually impossible to see where I'm going. There should be V's down there, impossible to see. So a very hazy day. That could be the sign for the problem, so keep an eye open. The day wind's slowly picking up. And it's so much fun because now I have the winds, you know, from the side like this, and so no need for gen anchor, just the sails. Actually it would be, you know, too sharp upwind for the gen anchor, and this is what I love the most, you know, just the normal sails, you know, winds from the side, having a decent speed. We could be faster, but this is fun. I have water and now I'm crossing to island Hvar. So this would be like a channel down there, island Sholta. So I'm gonna cross to Hvar around 12 nautical miles and then down the Hvar channel towards Korčula. Oh, see, the wind's picking up already. That's a good sign. We're doing 6-7 knots already, maybe more. Boats sailing around. It's gonna be a great sailing day. I thought the jeep is gonna be enough, but you know what? I was missing this big red guy. Look at this. What a difference. I'm woohoo! Whoopa! Shouldn't be using one hand for steering and sail and filming. Okay. This is fun. Okay. Pull this more. Okay, this is flying. Some serious speed. Some serious speed. The day winds, they always go behind the sun. So it shifted a couple degrees and I said, let's give it a try. And it was worth it. Woo! Fly in. Now we're talking. I'm now in the end of Hvar channel. This is the famous Hvar, probably the most famous village in the Croatian coast. It's called sunny Hvar because it has the most sunny days. See, it's always sunny here. But now this weather, I'm not sure. I was looking weather forecast, but it's kind of funny. So there could be some strong Bora afternoon. Now very hard to predict, so gotta stay careful. This is Hvar channel. Not so windy today. I mean, it is windy, it could be more. And now exiting this channel, going towards Zadar and then Korčula. Another view on the city Hvar. There's a castle on top. Nice village, not usually too crowded in the season. Now exiting Hvar channel. There's a great lighthouse on that small island, and you can actually rent this all around Croatia. You have these lighthouses, and there's a lighthouse keeper, and you can rent it, be all alone there. There's some magnificent island out there, more remote, and just spend a week there. You should Google it. So hazy down there. I know this area very well, but otherwise I would need a compass. Hard to see the next island. Day winds have picked up. I'm now following the coast of Hvar, and with these winds I'm gonna be in Korčula very soon. I'm probably doing around 10 knots averaging, surfing down the waves. Life is good. So down there in this moisture somewhere there's Korčula. Down there is Zadar, so I'm gonna follow the islands I know Zadar and then find the entrance to Korčula channel. Just flying. Whoa. Okay, there's a good wave. Yeah, nice waves today. Oh no, there's a big powerboat. So, oh no, oh yeah, well, I'm here. Oh man, that's why we don't like these big boats. They just make this strange waves. So there's more coming. Oh no, oh yeah. Okay, big boats, big waves, big trouble. Okay, we're all good, a little bit wet. As long as there's good wind, I'm happy. So now I can see Korčula, and down there you can see Pelješac Peninsula, and already I can see the entrance to the channel. I'm just worried a little bit about those clouds. I just hope no storms or Bora winds. Well, hopefully at least not for next hour, so I get to the channel. Once I'm in the channel, everything is much easier, but now I need to get to the channel. If I get Bora winds now, I would be in trouble. So let's just hope one more hour of these winds. I mean, the sun is still pretty high. It's probably around 3 o'clock or something. And I hope I make it to the channel. Then life is gonna be much easier. It's probably around, who knows, less than 10 miles. So hopefully in 1 hour I'm there. Entering Korčula channel. So down there this is Pelješac and this is Korčula. In between there's a channel. And I have just put down my generator because I can smell some heavy winds in this channel, and that's what it's famous for. A lot of windsurfers come here, and especially this area around here in front of me. I've had a lot of fun already, so that's why I'm gonna skip it this time. So I'm still kind of moving well. I just have a full main, and I think I'm just gonna use the full main to go through here. because in couple miles things are could get very windy. Looks like I'm lucky with storms and Bora winds, so as long as I get over around this peninsula there, I'm safe, because in the channel whatever I get I'm fine with. I hope these winds are not gonna accelerate too much. I have entered the channel now. This is not the windiest part. This is usually very messy. You can see it's choppy. It's very choppy. Winds are shifting all the time from different directions. And then in front of me there you can see loads of kiters and windsurfers. So this is one of the two best spots in Croatia, and that's where the wind is. So at that spot, and then down there you can see, oh, the wind is picking up. Down there you can already see Korčula, probably one of the nicest towns, probably nicest in this area in South Croatia. It could be like small Dubrovnik. And then we have some thunder going on there, which is not looking good, because there's probably gonna be a very strong Bora coming from nowhere. Now I would really like to get to the town, and then a little bit behind there's a good anchorage. So I'm gonna take a little bit of risk because I'm sheltered here. See, whatever happens, this is kind of sheltered waters, so I'm just gonna push it a little bit just behind the town and then anchor for the night. Such a nice sailing day. Well, let's hope it doesn't finish with a storm. It's not looking good. I mean, it's still kind of okay, but very quickly this can get very bad. There's just a couple miles left. I have to cross this field of surfers and kiters. That's a challenge. And down there you can see the Korčula, one of my favorite towns. I just love that place. Marco Polo was born here. So on the left side, this is Pelješac Peninsula, great wines, really nice place. Now recently the bridge was built, so it's easier to access. And on my right hand side, this is Korčula Island, just a beautiful island. And this popular area, that's where the wind is the strongest. You see, that's where all the kiters are. It just accelerates, this acceleration zone, and that's why everybody goes there. Now wish me luck getting through here. I have no good explanation, so I'm just gonna follow this big boat. They have masts just for putting those tents, instead of putting some sail up, burn less fuel and look like a sailboat. They're just shimmying and polishing it, I can see. Terrible. So I avoided this. Seems like everybody went away. Seems like I'm gonna be okay. There's a big ferry coming and these big ships, so everybody kind of moved to the left side. So I have free way to go. Just follow the big guys. Nobody messes with big guys. See, with my small boat everybody would go too close. But when these big guys go, especially this fast ferry, oh, there's just a windsurfer fell. So these guys, they just go on a horn and full speed. And that's the best method, then everybody moves. So he cleared the way for me. Now I can continue. Oh, see, it's getting windy. Ooh, very windy. I hope this is not Bora, but I think it's Bora. So put the sails down quickly. So the wind shifted. The Bora just started, and this can get really bad. So I put down my mainsail immediately. I have my jeep and I'm running for the shelter. I know this bay, so I'll be okay. But this is gonna get very windy. All these guys down there, windsurfers, they're gonna have trouble. This is gonna be very windy. Well, I'm not gonna reach Korčula today. Oh, there's some thunder, but I know this bay, it's a nice place, perfect for the night. I know what all these windsurfers are gonna do. They're all gonna be blown away now to this side. I mean, they're gonna be safe, but oh, it's good I saw put the sail down quickly. This was kind of dangerous. But lucky I'm here in the channel, so it didn't happen before. So probably the storm is gonna pass, these winds are gonna blow, and tomorrow is gonna be a nice day. So this is a bay, and I'm just gonna find a shelter there, spend the night, and then keep on going tomorrow once this clears up. I was really hoping to get a little bit further. Anyway, that's how it is. That's sailing when you have no engine, because there's a very good spot further down. I don't like when there's a lot of houses, then people watching you what you're doing, but I'll be fine. Oh, there's a couple of drops. The wind is picking up. You can see outside, very windy outside, very windy. It's from the storm. So I've dropped anchor and loads of rope, and I'm just gonna wait. This is my suit for storms. Maybe have a swim. It's actually warmer in the water. And actually I do need a rinse. I need a fresh water rinse because the boat is all salty. So it would be nice to have a big shower. I can wash myself and the boat, and we would be very happy. This is not just the best sun hat, it's the best rain hat also, because the rain doesn't go through. And it's like an umbrella. It's like I have an umbrella on my head. So now it's time to eat something. It doesn't look bad. You see it's already clearing up there, so probably very quickly the rain will stop. I think outside is Bora already in the channel. I'm very well hidden here. I have my sandy line on. It's wet anyway from both sides because it was sailing. So what's the point? But I guess, I mean, it keeps me warmer. It's good. It's a good jacket. So now, oh, another thunder. That was a good one. I guess it's time to eat. I have sun sardines. I haven't been eating all day. So it's kind of nice to have, and it's not too hot. It's kind of nice. Sun is not burning. And I was hoping for more rain. It's still nothing. I could use like a strong like rain for 5 to 10 minutes just to rinse everything off. But just seems like not today. Tastes good, and they say this is healthy and tastes good. These are with lemon, not with oil, so less fatty. Good stuff. It's raining. It's actually good I brought umbrella. That's funny, huh? It's gonna go away soon. Maybe just a little bit more and it's gonna pass. Storm went away, so now cooking my pasta with ketchup and tuna again, my specialty. I think it's fine. It's just fine. When you're hungry, it's really good. I have this Bruce anchor, 2 kilograms, and quite a lot of heavy chain, then 10 meters of this thick rope, and then probably 30 meters of this fin. So the idea is, this is a very good anchor. I used to have the umbrella with sucks, and this is really a good one. It's too big for the boat and really good. Then I have this over-dimensioned line, so just it doesn't cut on the ground. And then the fin one, just if I need more depth. Basically chain and this gives me 15 meters on the ground, so there should be no need for any of this be, you know, on the ground hooking for any rock or get damaged. So a very good set, not the lightest, but this is important stuff. And I keep it in this old dry bag, and actually I put it in so that I can just, you know, pull out the anchor and throw it, because the line is nicely put in, so I can immediately deploy the anchor. And then I just attach with a rope to the boat so I don't lose it, and it's here very easily and quickly to be used. This is morning Bora, gusty, easy to capsize. So I have a full main. I have released the main sheet, so it's depowered a lot, and I'm not rushing. I'm going very slowly, because you can get a gust that just flips you around even with no sails. Super tricky wind, changing direction, gusty, but they're getting me to my direction. I am very careful. You see, I'm not too fast, just right. Sail fully depowered, just enough to push me forward. Okay, there's a big gust coming. Okay. Yeah, the boat is handling this gust pretty well actually, it's very stable. I would be happier with the second reef right now, but I just depowered it all the way. See, the top is not doing anything. The lower part is spilling some air. Especially now sailing with one hand. But now, let's do some speed. The boat is actually very good for... I have very good control. And actually I'm waiting for two ferries to pass. I slowed down. I don't want to mess up with those ferries. There was a big gust, so I made the first reef. Now it settled down a little bit, but still, see, very choppy bank. I don't want to have too much speed. And then a big gust coming again. I feel much better now with one reef, but this wind should stop. And then when it starts stopping, then you want to have more sail. Oh, just banging, you see. It's very local wind, and then it comes from all the directions. Very choppy sea, a short wave. 6-7 knots, which is fine. The more would give just more bank. Then the wind stops, the wind comes. Bang, bang. Okay. And then it just stops. But there's wind. 30 meters away, there's a gust. Okay. We'll slowly get there. And now this can be very strong, so I better be ready. I have a jib now because the wind kind of slowed down. Okay. Okay. But still heading straight to the waves. Oh, just terrible. Bam. This is not really fun, but I'm gonna make some distance. Bora has stopped and the waves calm down pretty quickly because it goes from the shore, so it's a very short distance and I have time to develop. So now I have put the main up all the way, and now I'm waiting for the day winds to come from that direction. Now that could take an hour, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 2 hours. So who knows? Time for swimming. So behind you can see this is Korčula, and then Pelješac, the Korčula channel is in between. I came through there. You can see Island Lastovo, a great place down there. And then looking forward you can still see Pelješac, see, going all the way down. And then Island Mljet National Park there, a great place. And then this is the channel, Mljet channel, and the day winds again accelerate a little bit here, not as much as in the Korčula one. So today, as soon as they pick up, I should have a very good Jennaker downwind sailing towards Dubrovnik. So far away from land, people usually don't want to swim here, but you know what? It's gonna be just fine. Oh, this is refreshing. Because once you have all that neoprene up there, and then the wind stops, first you're cold because you're wet and windy, but then the sun comes up and you just get super warm in the neoprene and all those clothes. Oh, this feels good. Don't go away. stay close. Just a little wind and just starts going. Super lucky. That was just maybe a 15-minute stop. The day winds have started. I'm gonna put gen anchor up, sort out things on the boat, and I'm heading to Dubrovnik. Winds are picking up. I'm doing around 6-7 knots should be. Going straight down this Mliet channel, and down there you can see the monohull. It's from Sunsail. And why are they not wearing any canvas? Why are the sails down? Well, the funny thing is he was faster recently with the engine, but now the wind's picked up, so it's gonna be kind of what's the word, if I'm gonna be faster with the sails than he's with the engine. Let's see. I'll do my best. Now we're talking. The wind's picked up and there's very little waves. See, it's very flat, and this is where these boats, you know, they love it. I'm not crashing in the waves, I'm just gliding over them. That's paradise. And it's super easy to sail. The boat has a lot of control. This is like a relaxing sailing with nice speed. Beautiful. And then the monohull down there, well, he just opened Genoa, but I don't think that's gonna help him much, because now I'm on 10 knots and I'm just gonna fly by. Oops. Monohull is now far behind, so even with the engine and Genoa he cannot keep up with me, which of course is obvious. This is the Hobie Cat FX One racing machine, and I'm just flying. I don't think I've ever been so fast from one end to another end of this island yet. It's a pretty long island, but I mean, I'm almost at the end already. And Dubrovnik is down there, around 35 nautical miles, so if I'm lucky I'm gonna reach it today. With this speed, all I need is the wind to stay strong. Perfect winds, and again a big sailing boat. Now these boats drive tourists around Croatia. 2 masts, 2 front sails, everything. They're going downwind, perfect winds, and they're not using any sails. And again, seamanship. There's this big fast catamaran and he's avoiding to his left. So why would he do that? He's gonna cut me, make me more waves. You see, he had to turn anyway, but he could turn to his right and then he would make me so many waves in front. I've decided not to take a risk, so I'm going inside in the channel, because something doesn't make sense. You know, when I came out, the winds just doesn't make sense. And I know there's some Bora coming afternoon, and I'm looking at those windmills and they're just showing the, well, kind of Bora. So it might be that near the shore it already started, but there in the channel, this is Mliet channel, it's still very strong day wind, and then suddenly it's gonna shift and I'm gonna be in trouble. So I'm just gonna go in here between these islands and I can find a shelter pretty quickly here. I have a very bad feeling about these winds, so I'm just gonna stop here. And this is island Šipan, a great place, and there's a very nice bay. And because tonight we're gonna have very strong Bora. Now the question is, when is it gonna hit to the next place? I have 8 miles and not much wind, so it would take me 2 hours, and if I mess it up I would be in trouble. There's not many good places to hide from Bora in this channel, so I'm just gonna play it safe, stop there a little bit early. It's 4:30, so I'm gonna stop at 5, have a normal dinner, a swim, and then see what tomorrow brings. That's perfect timing. The winds have just switched to light Bora, and I can see the windmills. They're picking up the speed, which means it's the matter of minutes when the Bora picks up, and you never know how quickly it can be and how strong. So this is great. Actually, down in the bay The winds haven't shifted yet. The boats are still aligned for the day winds, but here I have Bora already, so perfect timing. Stopped here for the night. It's a very nice bay. I've been here many times. Good swimming, it's very shallow. I've dropped the anchor here, and then I'll see. Maybe I'm gonna go down there to the pier, maybe stay on the anchor. We'll see, we have enough time. Sand is very precious in Croatia because it's mostly rocky. There's not much sand. So there's a small sandy beach, and here's my boat, and it's just beautiful lagoon here. See, very shallow sandy bottom, and this used to be a vacation place in the times of socialism and Tito. So people would come here, have vacation. Now it's mostly ruins. Nobody's really here, but people still come here for swimming and anchoring. Lagoon 410, it's a big brother from 380, and it has a furling mainsail. And recently Nautitech made one model where you can choose a furling mainsail, and I think there's a future of charter business. Of course, full bottom looks better, easier to sell it, more performance. It is faster, it's more performance, of course, more sail area, but it's just kind of struggle to put it up and down. Not so easy, especially for people who are not doing it all the time. So the furling mainsail is the future. And I think that eventually there's going to be, mostly catamaran for charter are going to have furling mainsails, and the sooner the better. People do want to have like a full bottom, more performance, but once actually using the boat, I think that most of the people would be actually much more happy with the furling. Just way easier to use and faster to open and close, and just life is easier, especially if you're on vacations, not in a hurry. That's the way to go. So I moved to the other side of the bay. It's going to be more protection from the Bora winds. And you see, it's super shallow here. It's sandy. It's super nice. There's some old buildings, some people just spending some time here. And a nice bay. People just having fun. The sun is slowly setting. And this is going to be a great cold night here. Perfect spot. Here's my anchor, and I really like this. I think this is called Bruce anchor. It really digs in so well. You see, it's hardly to see the blades. It just digs in into the sand. It's just the best anchor I had on these small boats. Such a good anchor. You can see how well it's digged in. All the blades are just under the sand. They disappeared. It's such a good hold in the chain. I feel really safe sleeping with this anchor. It's early morning. I'm sailing already. The idea was to catch these Bora winds. The thing is, you need to get to them. They're very tricky. So down there's some wind. And then further out, if I get up a couple of miles, there's gonna be great Bora winds from Pula. I'm just having a hard time getting there. It's just the wind that's like from everywhere, going on, down, changing direction. So hopefully, okay, now I have some speed. I started from that bay down there. I just need to get a little bit up. See, there is wind, windmills are turning. It's just such a struggle to sail it. I have a dry suit today, if it keeps going like this, I'm not gonna need this. A little more luck with the wind. I have to get out between these islands. That's gonna be tricky. And then I need to get 1 mile further up, and that's where the good winds are. I'm in a channel, Mljet channel again. The gen anchor is up. I have speed. I'm just praying now these winds last as long as possible. That's it. I should have calm water. The wind is coming from shore, and the further up I get, the more wind I get, accelerating. Okay, that's what I was dreaming all night. Beautiful. It was worth waking up early, but it was a struggle to get here. It took me 1 hour paddling to get to the channel, but now it's paid off. And it stops again. See, I can see it down there, and that's where the wind is. Just behind this rock is blocking. If I can get there, I'm gonna have good winds all the way to Korčula. So I'm just using an old proven method of weight loss. I'm paddling to get to the wind. Just miserable here. And it's hot. And then you put on everything and it gets hot, and then it starts windy, cold. But I'm gonna make it. I have some speed. It's not as good as I was hoping for, but it's way better than paddling. I'm going in the right direction. So now I have Pelješac Peninsula on this side, and on this side I have Mljet. And I hope these winds last forever, because I'm going directly towards Korčula. And I was thinking, I'm having this dry suit for the first time. I've had this for more than 10 years. I had it in Scandinavia, in freezing temperatures everywhere. It's the first time I'm having a dry suit in a warm climate. And actually I love it, because underneath I just have a shirt, and because it's a very wet ride, see, I'm wet all the time a little bit, it's cooling me off, and I feel just right. I feel much better than any neoprene or whatever. This is really good so far. Sandy line, never let me go. I only take sandy line. Been with me since 2012, so 11 years. This suit has 11 years. Been everywhere, no trouble. Still going strong. Okay, the wind's picking up. Now we're talking. We might see some hull flying in the next hours. Okay, that's nice. Full sails, happily flying towards Korčula. Let's see if we can fly this hull. Is it out? Almost. This is some proper sailing. Morning, Bora. Couple big gusts. Sitting all the way in the back. Not a safe distance, my fellow captain. See, this is way too close. If I got a gust now and I had to bear away, I would crash into you. See, this is the gust I was telling you about. Luckily, God's helped me. But if I get a gust like this, there's not much I can do. So we were lucky this time, because the wind just switched and stopped. Now it's from there, now it's coming back here. I'm gonna go to this side again. Oh, these Bora winds. They just, go from 0 to nothing in a second. And then they come back, okay? Let's pull this in. and then they come in a second. If you don't release the sheets, you're swimming. Hopefully not mass down, which is called turtle. Don't like turtle. So lucky with the winds. Actually down there it's end of Mljet. This is Pelješac, and now this is the passage between Mljet and Korčula. Incredible, and the sun is still pretty low. I had incredible speed, and now in this passage, that's where Bora stays the longest. So if I get a little bit lucky, I might get it to Korčula, which would be just incredible, and then I get day winds. So lucky, so lucky. It was worth waking up early in the morning and paddling to the winds. Now the reward is big. I had the same winds in 2011 when I was doing my trip with Laser 2 to Albania. It was just like this. And then I remember the wind stopped somewhere in here in between, and I was waiting for day winds. Maybe this time I'm even luckier with this faster boat. Maybe I can make it to Korčula. That would be unbelievable. A little bit hazy day, but no storms forecasted. Just good weather for the next couple days. Let's finish the passage with Janaker. This is usually not what I would do at Bora winds, but now they are really dropping down. So I want to get the last drops of wind. We're gonna get some more speed with this. What a great morning ride. Didn't made it to the Korčula with Bora, but anyway, that was a great morning. So now Korčula is down there, and this is Pelješac in between the Korčula channel. I'm still in my dry suit and I'm just feeling just right. When there's no wind, it gets a little bit hot, but when I'm moving, it's great. And then if I get maybe hot, I just have water cooling. You see here and there the water splashes, and it's the best water cooling. Then the suit gets a little bit wet, and it's actually very pleasant, kind of even cold inside. I have just a shirt underneath, no insulation. It's actually getting a little bit cold. I would never think I would be using this in summer, but on these boats it's great. I do like my hat. And this suit is exactly the one I had in 2012 when I went to Norway first time, to Scandinavia. It was freezing cold, and this suit did the job. Sandy line, the best ever. And then I had it again a couple of years later, and again a couple of years later. So it's been up there north many times, still going strong. Sandy line, good stuff, good stuff. And now perfect in this weather. Who would think? Getting to Korčula, and there is this powerboat. We have been going together for like 1 hour. So they're obviously saving fuel. They could go faster, but if I get a little bit more winds, I could actually overtake him. So Pelješac down there, Mljet down there, channel, and then in front of me Korčula channel, looking good. Very windy here. I've just put the second reef. The jib is a little bit vibrating, which is not good, and a lot of wind. We'll see how this handles. Like so far I'm still kind of stable. Oh, this would be one fall. So if I really wanted, see, I can lift one hull a little bit, not gonna push it. But that's a lot of wind. That's Korčula channel. So now a lot of zigzagging to see. Oh, bang, bang, bang. So let's see how these boats do upwind. So all the way up, around 10 miles in the channel against current and wind. So let's see what this boat can do. I have both dagger boards down. I'm actually not sure if that's better or one is enough, but I'll keep both down. the theory is like the more is better. So let's see. This hat is great because I tension, and now I'm protected against the wind, and my ears are protected against water and wind. It's kind of cool, and when there's a spray, see, I can protect my sunglasses with this. It's a pretty good feature. And who would think that in these winds, I mean, I added these ones here on the side, and like this I can go into these strong winds and no problem. Good stuff. Kavu Shilba hat. It's getting very windy. Just bam, bam, bam. Now you know why I have a dry suit. And I figured out if I go with more speed and the right hull is more in the air, I bang less. So the left hull is submerged. A lot of power on the left side just goes through the waves. And then the right side is more in the air and banging less. This seems to work. Still wet. Could be worse. I am now only under the second reef. I have furled the jib. It was just too much on the gusts and just problems. You see, I'm just with the second reef. I'm having enough speed and less banging and less things to break and less things to worry. And I'm actually kind of getting upwind. I am progressing, and with this sail I can handle more wind. I can go quite a bit more. This is very touristic right now, but I like it. I just like it. So now this dry suit, without the dry suit it would be miserable. All the neoprenes and stuff, not so good. Dry suit the best, sandy line the best. I am slowly progressing. It's kind of miserable and not fun at all, but I want to get up to the beginning of channel so I have better winds tomorrow morning. And this is Korčula. You don't see it well, it's into the sun, but one of the nicest cities. You should really visit Korčula town. Walls of Korčula town, still against the sun, but you can see it's on a peninsula. It's such a beautiful town. Best ever. Very nice people. Great place to visit. Winds have settled down a little bit. I have a jib and I'm passing across this area again, full of kiters, and but a little bit easier now going upwind. And the waves have kind of not so choppy anymore. And I can say this catamaran is going upwind. I mean, it's seriously going upwind like I would never thought. Like, I don't know who said catamarans don't go upwind. With these two dagger boards, two rudders, and these two long fin hulls, I mean, this thing is going upwind like crazy. I mean, catamarans go upwind. See far there's a monohull sailing upwind, around probably 46 foot or something. So let's see who's gonna be faster. And I'm not fully powered, I'm just second reef. I could easily have more sails, but I'm feeling it's just right, it's safe. Wind is dropping, so I have now full mainsail and still going really good. So down there the wind is strongest and the sun is now getting low, so the wind is slowly going down, which is great. This is the wind I like. You see, I have really good speed going upwind, full sails, no crazy gusts and no big chop. This is fun. This is how sailing should look like. Sailing should be fun. And this boat is really going upwind. You're almost lifting one hull. Okay, airborne. Woohoo! I shouldn't be goofing around here. Oh, mamma mia. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna use two hands now. I don't want to swim. And another boat. And he just changed the course to his left. I mean, he was just okay to go behind me. And then he just changed the course. Too close, my friend, too close. If I wasn't so fast. See, this is way too close. It's early morning and I hope for Bora winds. There's a little bit. I hope there's more in the channel and I hope they stay more than 1 hour. Otherwise I would better be sleeping. Everybody's still asleep, but I think it's worth it. Let's give it a try. Isn't this magical? In the morning everybody's sleeping just quietly. Now let's just hope. Okay, there's some cocks calling only already for the morning. And this wind there, it's like forecasted like very little wind. But each time I pass here, and I've passed many times here in the morning, there is always this wind that starts good and then turns more and more from the back. Should bring me to the island Zadar, which is down there next to Hvar. I hope I'm correct, otherwise it's gonna be a very long wait for the day winds. Now it's 6 o'clock in the morning, the day winds come at 12. If I messed up, it's gonna be 6 hours on the water with no wind. So nice here. Sun is coming up and out there I can see some winds. See, this is the good side of this boat. You don't need much. And whatever the miles I'll do towards Zadar. So we can see in front, not much wind, but then further out there's wind. Just need to get there. Hopefully not like yesterday. And then there's Zadar and you can see Hvar. So this is Hvar. This is still Pula. Just close here, then you have Hvar, and there's this small island Zadar. Very nice island. 12 miles to go. And then I'm gonna get day winds which are gonna be, you know, against me. So that's why it's so important to do some miles today, because I don't want to get stuck in this 12-mile passage with day winds. I just want to get further up. If it doesn't want to move with the winds, then we'll just push it. Those winds are there, maybe 100 meters away. Just need to get there. Not in the winds yet, but look at this speed. I think we're moving pretty well for no wind, and that's the charm of these boats. You can sail them in a lot of wind, you can sail them in no wind. Just gliding through the water. And there's wind, I still have to catch it. It's a little bit further down. Hopefully it doesn't go away. With a big heavy boat you cannot do this. Even without a spinnaker it wouldn't work. So what you need is these two fabulous sails. And then you can just go through the water with no winds. Just magical. It was worth it. This wind, it's not really in the weather forecast, but it's here all the time. Every morning when it's like good conditions. And well, it paid off to wake up to paddle for 30 minutes to the wind. I'm flying towards Zadar. Beautiful. And this wind should stay for like at least an hour or more. So I'm gonna make some good distance going north. And it's picking up. This is a good sign. Pula shots all the way down there. Well, the wind is now stopping, and I'm very close to Zadar down there, which is, I mean, I made a really good distance, more than I could wish for. So now very gently it's gonna turn to the day winds, so I'll have to sail upwind. So it's time for some breakfast. I usually don't eat until 2 o'clock, but on this trip I just feel like I want to eat. A week ago I got an interesting question from people on land. We were watching the boat and they said, is there a cabin on the boat where you sleep? I said, there's no cabin. Are you sure there's nothing like down there there's a cabin? And then yesterday we were talking, and then eventually the locals figure out that I don't have an engine. Like, you don't have an engine? No, there is no engine and there's no space for the engine. Almost made it to the Zadar island. Look at the distance. I came from all the way down there, and now I can say officially the morning Bora is over. And now the question is how quickly the day winds are gonna show up. As always, it can be 10 minutes, it can be 1 hour, 2 hours, you never know. So it's time for the swim. Again in the middle of nowhere. Hope there's no sharks. This feels good. Well, this time I kept myself connected around the waist so I can do some video. This is in case I fall off the boat. See, it's a very long... See, the boat wants to go. Woo! See? So quickly you can lose a boat. You see this? It's pulling me. Which means if the boat is pulling that direction, that the day winds are starting, which would be a great sign. See, it's actually pulling, you see? This line is... I should have released the main sheet. Okay, coming back. Well, let's see what happens if I release the main sheet. So let's release this. Okay, I can steer the boat from the water. Isn't this cool? So lucky. I could be waiting years for these day winds, but they're just here. Oh, this is cool. I can see how quickly you can lose this boat. Keep the sail up and it just goes away. Okay, enough fooling around. Let's get back on the boat. So now I'm not touching anything. And let's see how far this boat can go. See, in case I fall in the water, that's what the boat would keep doing. You see, I'm not touching anything. I'm just sitting here and we'll see what happens. So the boat is slightly steering upwind. Then we'll see what happens. If it had a Genoa, it would be even more balanced, you know, because the bow would be pushed downwind. But see, this is no wind and it's already quite a good speed. It's not easy to swim that fast for a long time. See, and I'm still moving. And doesn't seem like the boat is gonna stop. So in case you're not attached, you fall in the water, you would be swimming behind the boat. And very soon you would get tired and the boat would go away. Well, after 1 hour waiting, day winds have started. And this is a very good tactics because the winds would always start more from there and then eventually move, you know, for upwind. Because I want to go there. Actually now I'm not tacking, I'm using the day winds, the early day winds. You see, and they're strong enough and there's no waves. And the angle is better because afternoon it's gonna move like this and then you have to zigzag against the waves. So, and also because you see there's Corchula, and because the winds, day winds come like this because it's open, it's possible to have this effect. So I'm just at the right place at the right moment, and I'm actually sailing even more upwind. You can see Zadar there because I want to get some height, because then as the winds are gonna move like this, I'm gonna go with them and hopefully get directly to city Hvar, and that would be just amazing. Already doing around 4 or 5 knots. Looking good. Oh, there's something in the water. Might be a fender. Sometimes you find cool stuff, like just they got blown away or whoever knows. Maybe it's just a trash. Looks like a plastic bag. Well, I'm gonna pick it up anyway. We don't want any trash in the ocean. Okay, it's a plastic bag. Let's take this. Oh, there's something inside. Oh, look at this. Oh, there's a beer, cold beer. And oh, there's 2 cold beers. Mamma mia, so lucky. Well, actually it was my friend Theo. You can see down there a big boat down there. It's my friend Captain Theo, and I just saw him and said, Theo, I'm great, I feel great, I feel fine, there's only one thing missing, it's a cold beer. And he was generous enough to help me with this. Thank you, Theo. Cheers. Better drinking. I better drink it now, it's gonna get warm. And the winds are picking up, you see? The speed is picking up. You see, once you have beer, everything is better. Winds pick up, speed picks up, and the mood picks up. And nice to meet some friends on the sea. Thank you, Theo, you saved my life. Thank you so much. It's lunchtime, so I have these cookies from yesterday, and I have this spread. Call it pasteta. It's supposed to be like a meat spread. We don't really know what's inside. We just want to believe it's good. We want to believe it's a meat spread. We don't really know what's inside. But it's good. Very good. The magic of apparent wind sailing. See, no winds. If you look carefully, there's really no wind. But now I'm producing wind, so I'm going against the wind, and look at the speed. It's all about apparent wind sailing, and you can only have this on these super fast boats, because I'm going now faster than the wind. So the wind I'm producing, it's a paradox. I'm making the wind and I'm using this wind to go forward. See, no wind, very calm, and super good speed, and I just love it. See, there's so much space, and then he chooses to go in front of me. Like, so easily he could go, you see, like from this side, and then the waves will be more favorable for me. But no, people always choose to go in front of you. Testing now my other hat. It's kind of cool, you can close all the way. Actually closes really well. It's probably meant for the when you have, you know, sand and everything blasting you. Both like sun and sand, and we'll see. Seems like a good protection, stays quite well on the head, and well, we'll see today how it performs. Zadar is far behind, and I came to Hvar Island, and I'm really happy. Just look at these amazing cliffs. Hvar has one of the nicest coastlines and very good wine, beautiful cliffs. And now wind picking up for real. Still not having a dry suit on. Kind of lazy day winds today, but they'll come. I'm in the Hvar channel. Pretty busy again. Although it's not a high season anymore, so much less boats. But still you can see so much traffic and small boats. So I have to be careful. and I'm going upwind. So this channel again has more wind because it's a channel. So now I'm zigzagging up. It's around 5 o'clock, so 2 more hours. On the end of the channel I'm gonna drop an anchor, have a dinner and go to bed. Coming, and instead of going behind, see, he could easily go behind, he's forcing to go forward. No seamanship. That's terrible. Like, you avoid the sailboat from behind and you always avoid to your right, and like, no, let's cross the bow and make the waves. I'm really wondering, maybe on my other side of the sail it says cross me from the front and make me waves, so I'm gonna bank. This was luckily a small boat. It has to be written somewhere, maybe on the other side it says go from the front, make a big wave. So this hat, it's a little bit harder to breathe. I prefer my shirt, and I think the shirt looks cooler. Probably this is not very IQ building thing. And then so we have here, this is Hvar channel. I finally managed to get up, sun is going down, and I'm gonna go into this bay. Not the nicest one, but it's the closest one. This is the end of Hvar, and then tomorrow I go that direction. So this is just where I want to be, because it just makes the most sense. This is the bay for tonight. Not the nicest one, it's okay. As long as I have a long sun, there's no hills, I can see tomorrow when the wind picks up, and it's just on the end of the Hvar, so then I have directly a passage to Šolta. And tomorrow very light winds, so that's why I want to be here, to make sure I can get across. It's okay. I am leaving Hvar. This is Hvar channel. Behind you can see Brač, and I'm having a little bit of morning Bora, just a little bit left, so I'm using spinnaker to get up as much as possible. Finally I want to go down there in the fog, in the moisture. Down there is Šolta, and the winds are going to be coming from this direction. So basically I'm going now directly upwind, which is very good, so I get height, and then I'm going to be able to, you know, sail upwind directly to the upper part of Šolta once the day winds start. So should have medium day winds today. So again, upwind sailing, just like yesterday, starting with some morning winds, and should be a nice day. I'm so impressed with this boat. Like, see, there is no wind. I don't feel any wind. We're moving. I mean, we're not super fast, but there is no wind. I mean, we're moving. I'm not sure if you can swim like this for a long time. I'm just having all the sails up. Gets a little bit of propulsion, but the sea is so calm but still moving. So impressed with this boat. This is really a good sailor. New day, same problem. You see, open ocean, nobody anywhere. See how much space there is? There's nobody. And then this guy with his yacht, there's so much space. So lucky with conditions and good tactics. So I slept there, and then in the morning with Bora I went all the way down to that tip to get height against the wind. Now my direction is actually exactly where I'm going, because that's where I want to go. That's where Italy is, Trieste, Monfalcone, where I want to go. So the day winds, they always start from here and then they slowly move like this. So also my course is slowly gonna change. So that's exactly why I wanted to start up high. And because these early winds, they're usually very light, and they start more from this direction. And because I have this super rocket boat and I'm actually having a very decent speed even in light winds, so now I'm able to really go into the direction that I want to go. And by the time the winds pick up, I'm gonna be far up and then go in And if I get lucky, there's this earth Ploce, Peninsula Ploce, which is the kind of middle of Adriatic. If I get lucky to get past, I'm gonna have a very good angle with day winds once they change, because in that area especially, the day winds tend to go a little bit more inside, so it makes me better angle to go up. So if I get lucky, I'm gonna pass Ploce before the highest wind start and big swell, and then it's hard to go upwind. And then I'm gonna be able to turn just a little bit in and use that natural big bay to go like either further up towards Šibenik and Zadar. Now I'm trying to figure out, when sailing upwind, is it better to have both dagger boards down or keep one up? And also with the rudders, I'm keeping one rudder up and one down. So now theoretically I should be faster, of course, because there is less drag in the water. But on the other hand, I'm gonna go more sideways because there is less fins, you know, to go against the lateral resistance. Now, maybe that's enough. You see, that's a very deep dagger board, and maybe that's, you know, enough. So the question is the balance. Is it better to have all the fins down and go a little bit slower and less sideways, or are two fins enough to prevent most of the side movement, and then you gain speed by having this and this one up? So I'm trying to figure out this now. It seems pretty much similar at these speeds. Maybe at higher speeds there should be a bigger difference. Then again, the faster you go, the more efficient the dagger board is. So I'm sure that at very high speeds you do want to keep this one up and the rudder up. You will gain more speed. But now at these low speeds, like 4 or 5 knots, the question is, you know, what's better? So I've been trying to figure out what's better, dagger boards up, down, rudder up, down. I was checking the speed on my phone. Very hard to say. And I think we would need 2 boats to see you know, what the difference really is, and in different winds. But I think that even with just one dagger board down and one rudder down, the boat was just sailing upwind just fine. The feel is different. See, when you have everything down, the boat is very like a train, you know, like shh. It just for some reason kind of feels like shh, different feel. When you only have those 2 down, it feels a little bit more like, you know, like a monohull feel, a little bit like lighter. So there is a difference in feel, but in speed and the angle, I'm not sure. Probably at very high speeds it would make a bigger difference. It's just incredible. Like, these winds were sent from the gods. It's really rare to have this angle of winds, and I'm just so lucky. So I don't see Hvar anymore. And I can see Šolta. See, there is the end of Šolta, and I'm still going strong. I'm going actually directly to Peninsula Ploce, and having this angle and these winds for so long is just, it's just incredible. I mean, I'm really lucky. I was hoping like maybe today I would make it to end of the Šolta. Well, the sun is still not in the middle, and I'm here already. So lucky. Now eventually it's gonna shift to day winds. Maybe I get lucky and I pass Peninsula Ploce. Unlucky, but you never know, it might happen. You don't even see Hvar anymore. So lucky. Like this boat, that's a racing machine. I can say, I mean, this is the best boat I ever sailed. I think I can confirm. This boat is just amazing. The best boat I ever sailed. Yes, it is. The only drawback is it's a little bit low, so because it's not built for cruising like I'm doing. So all the luggage and everything I'm quite low, so the water is splashing and I hit the waves, and that's the only drawback. If this boat would have a, you know, Hobie 16 design, you know, that trampoline that's a little bit higher, and everything else like this, just, you know, that trampoline that's higher, that would be a machine. That would be a boat for me. This is a rocket. So good. So lucky. I'm getting close to Peninsula Ploce. so lucky with day winds because they're not too strong, they're just right, and the waves haven't developed because going downway this was very rough and windy. But today so lucky, so lucky. You see the wind, see the boat is just singing and enjoying this wave, not crashing into them, having good speed, sailing upwind towards Peninsula Ploče. So lucky with the wind, incredible. Thank you gods, thank you Poseidon. This is the bay for tonight. There is Rogoznica and Primošten on the other side. Should be calm here. These rocks have a couple of holes, so it's very easy to tie a rope. They're a little bit sharp, you have to be careful. But it's kind of cool when you find a hole. Just make a bow line. Beautiful calm bay. I'm gonna sleep here very well. And making pasta. I haven't been cooking for 2 days because I was waking up very early. So today I'm gonna reward myself with 2 tuna cans. And I have bought an extra ketchup so I can use a lot of ketchup. Bon appetit! It's a great morning here in Croatia, so I have moved a little bit here. I was sleeping in there in the bay, but I moved here because I can see the winds. So there was not much morning winds, so I didn't go. You can see it's very calm now, it's 8 in the morning. So it's a good decision I didn't go, but I'm gonna get good day winds and they should bring me quite far north. The bad news is that I have 5 days left of good weather and then the rain is coming. So I'll see, hopefully I can get all the way north to Monfalcone and back home. Otherwise it's gonna be some fun. Well, it looks like the morning winds they just came up stronger. It just seems like that when the sun pops up they got a little bit stronger. So I'm using this morning wind. This is really good. I'm heading straight well, towards Italy. So there's island Giria. I eventually want to go there, but this is a very good direction because eventually in a couple hours the day winds will start blowing from there and I'm going to change my course there towards Murter, Zadar. And this is really good because I'm gaining the height. This is really good tactics, full sails, doing really good speed. It's probably around 8 in the morning. I might have like 1 or 2 hours of these winds. This is really good. What a beautiful morning. The winds are getting stronger. And this is called Šibeniška Bora, very famous winds in the morning. I just thought they're not gonna be here. Hey, but they're here. And I'm going straight up along the coast. Couldn't be better, and I'm gonna have a great starting point for the day winds. Down there you can see island Giria. So I'm all the way out on the outer side. There's only Italy down there. What a great morning. I could only pray and wish for this. So gods are good with me. Poseidon gives me good winds. Progressing really well. They're getting stronger and stronger. Almost flying a foul. Beautiful, beautiful. Not too much waves because it comes from a shore. So lucky, best conditions ever. Winds have stopped. And I can smell a little bit. You see, you can always smell these winds because the Bora would be kind of cold and dry. And I can already smell a little bit more moisture wind. And if you look carefully, you can see there's kind of a line. So I was thinking maybe there's some Bora coming from there, but there is no line. So the line is only there, and that's where the day winds come from. And I can smell a little bit of moisture, which is a good sign. That means that they might just start very quickly, so I won't have to wait here too long. And yeah, obviously you can see there's the morning Bora down there. Day wind slowly starting, I'm just in between, so just a matter of time when I get new winds. Very lucky with the shift from morning winds to day winds. It happened very quickly. It's gonna take time until they pick up, so I'm not super fast. Direction is not the best, but I have time to eat some sardines, some food before the day wind picks up, and I'm gonna be sailing both hands again. Doing really good. This was just a reward to be here with these winds. I have both dagger boards down. Okay, this one is a little bit up, both rudders up, and I'm going like upwind as much as I can. This is the speed, around 5 knots probably. And do you see those islands? So I'm pushing, you can see the telltales, I'm pushing kind of upwind. And those islands there, you see, like a normal boat at this angle wouldn't make it, because you always move, you know, also sideways, now to the right side, and you would hit those islands. Now this boat seems like it just doesn't go sideways. This boat just goes straight. So we'll see if I can pass these islands. Well, maybe the wind's gonna shift, but maybe I can pass them, and that's a good sign that these dagger boards, which are super deep and double, work amazing job. These are the two islands. I'm gonna pass them so easily. You see, this boat doesn't go sideways. It's just unreal. It's unreal. See those two islands? Still sailing sharp upwind, and the boat doesn't move sideways, just goes straight. These dagger boards, they're digging in, and the blades behind, and the speed of the boat adds to everything. Although I'm going full sharp upwind, you see I have my main tangent, everything tangent totally, the boat only goes straight. This is the most performance boat I've ever sailed. This is the best boat I have ever sailed. It, in all the angles, it just outperforms whatever I sailed so far. And when you think you're not really moving, you look behind and you see like, hey, I'm flying. You see, it's like this all the time. When you look forward, maybe it looks like not so fast, but then you turn around and you say, whoa, we're moving, we're cruising. In front of me you can see Croatia Islands. It's a national park, so I'm not gonna go through this time because you have to pay a ticket. Just an absolutely amazing place. You can see from here, they are Croatia Islands, and I'm gonna go on the outside into this channel between Croatia Islands and Zadar, where it's a great place for sailing. Good winds, you know, quite sheltered, not too much waves. I've just set my trapeze harness so old that it just went apart. I'm not sure it's gonna hold it all, but I'm gonna give it a try. And see, I just released the main sail, the main sheet, and the boat has been going in this direction for the last 5-10 minutes as I was putting up the harness. You see, I'm not touching anything, I just left it alone. So once the boat finds a good balance, see, it just keeps going. And that's the problem. If you fall in the water and there's light wind, the boat doesn't capsize. It's gonna go like this for a whole day. Well, now let's give it a try. I hope everything doesn't break. That was fun. Trapeze, it's very easy, it's fun, and it's actually very comfortable and less wet, and it's faster. I was really hoping to do trapeze all day going upwind, but unfortunately, you see, we have a hole, and I don't want to risk being just on these two tiny straps. If I fall in, I would probably capsize, and that wouldn't be good. Well, it's been with me for many years. Time to retire. That's what you get. Terrible, terrible. When there's a lot of wind and you put pressure on the left hull and the right one is slightly out, then the boat just goes through the waves. Just look at this. Stops banging. It literally goes okay, so be careful now. Just, or when you're flying one hull, then the lower hull just goes through the waves. It's pretty impressive. At low speeds you're banging, but then see, when you have a good gust, it literally goes through the waves. Nice view on Cornati Islands. I just love them. It's so nice there. And then there's a small passage, and then you have a long island, and then you have this small island in front of Long Island, and that's where I'm gonna stay, just on the other end of this island. Place for tonight. Down there there's Sali, the village. This is Long Island, and down there are Cornati Islands, and this is just a small random island. I don't know the name actually. I came here to visit some friends. They're having vacations. They're down there, and looks like a great spot. Finally some wind started. The weather is changing. Now I have kind of south winds, very light. And then if I'm not in 3 days in Monfalcone, I'm gonna get really bad weather, 10 degrees colder, rain, thunderstorms. So I kind of hope I have 140 nautical miles to get to Italy. I hope I can do it in 3 days. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit stormy sailing. I'm having just a gin anchor now. I haven't tried this yet. I'm going downwind, so just for fun, I tried this too. And it's kind of working, you see. I'm moving, I'm organizing stuff, so immediately I just went out, put up the gin anchor, and I'm organizing the boat now, so I'm not losing any time. And then once everything is organized, I'm gonna put the main up. Oops, went from the wrong side. But by the time I'm already gonna be a couple miles out. Okay, need to work now. Down there you see the sign, the cardinal sign saying going north. Well, this boat was sailing until it stopped sailing, puts the sails down, reverses out. It just went directly into the shallow, and it's obvious sign, go north, they go south. Much faster now. Oops. Much better now with 2 sails. Quite good speed. That's a couple of knots. I'm really happy. The weather forecast was really bad for no winds. And I'm actually moving. I mean, these boats are just incredible. They go in very strong winds, they go in light winds. That's a real machine. You see how that boat is stuck? You see how the bow is looking out, they're full reverse and they're not moving? Well, they have just run aground. Incredible. Yeah, they're not moving. Sailing butterfly, wing to wing. This is so cool. I'm sailing straight down the channel. On the left side you have Dugi Otok and all these small islands on the right side. So I was zigzagging, and then I said, well, why just not try this? Seems like the speed is similar, not much wind anyway. And it looks good. I think it's super cool. Not easy to maintain it like this. So I released the main sheet all the way out, not much wind. Gin anchor on this side. Just sailing downwind. And it's super hot. Because the apparent wind, I don't feel any wind now because I'm going with the wind. And it's just hot, sun is burning. Luckily I have my hat, it saves me. Not much going today, variable light winds. Trying to get some miles. Flying Janakar, getting gusts from here, gusts from there, getting some speed, some no speed. So I'm still sailing along the Long Island. It's a kind of nice, you know, I'm not doing a good progress, but it's nice out here. It's calm, not too many people, hardly any boats. And when you get a good breeze, it's very nice sailing also. Now this is called zero wind. Down there, there's a little bit. Hope it comes. And this is zero wind. Look at the Janakar. Just this guy has energy. He's just full of energy, going left and right, left and right. And the sail. They're like, come on, let's go. Where's the wind? No wind. Well, maybe that sailboat has a wind. I have two small holes on the Janakar and it's perfect time because it's dry. There's nothing smart to do. So I have this small repair kit and this is a special material for Janakar because it's kind of silicone one, so it's the only one that sticks. So now it's time to repair this. Found this great rock to tie the boat, drop the anchor in front here in Bourbon, Long Island. Not many people here. It's still kind of season, not high season, slowly going to the end, but not crowded at all this year. Not crowded at all. I'm gonna sleep here. It's also a ferry port to come to this island, and it's gonna be a great calm night. Beautiful sunset in a calm bay. There's a ferry port. They're gonna go away. Cooking my last pasta. There's no more pasta left, so I'm gonna reward myself with 2 cans of tuna and loads of ketchup. Yummy. Such a calm morning. It was a great night. Here's my tent. So nice today. It's also easy to sleep when it's rocking a little bit. I'm just fine. But if it's like this, it just feels like in the campsite. So I'm drying out my clothes there, more clothes drying there. I actually have a light, solar light, in front of the clothes, so some fishermen doesn't crash in me. The sail is packed here in front. I have my Crocs hanging, drying out my neoprene hat and my gloves, life jacket. And I open all the backs. See all the dry backs, I open them so they kind of ventilate as much as they can. Oh, and you can see the water. See how clear the water is? You can see the bottom easily. Pushing upwind this boat a lot, and you see like the main is fully in. I have a really good speed. At Janakar, I released it from the top 1 meter, really flattened it out. I'm using it like almost as a Genoa, and you see not much wind at all, but still doing great speed. It's just amazing what you can do with this boat. Let's try more upwind. You see, because I've flattened the shape of the Janakar, it's basically not a Janakar, it's just a Genoa. And amazing. If I would put Janakar down and just open the jib, I would have half the speed. Just look at this. There is basically very little wind, and this is what you can do. You just make your own wind, you make a parent wind, and I'm actually probably faster than the wind now. Some proper Janakar sailing. That's how things should look. Full speed Janakar going quite, you know, side winds. Boat very stable. Winds from shore, so not much waves. And just flying. Look at this. Again, sand from the gods. I need to be quick because the bad weather is coming. There's gonna be rain. Today is Saturday and Monday. Storms, rain. Summer is over. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it to Italy. Well, maybe with this speed. Look at this. This is beautiful. So I'm steering just with one hand, which is not the smartest thing if you don't want to swim, but I have to film this. Look at this. Just had the sail of the year for the last couple hours. I was just flying, and down there you can see all the islands I left: Ist, Molat, Silba, Olib, Premuda, and I'm right next to Ilovik. So this is Ilovik, and then there is Mali Lošin, Susak further up, and you can see the sun is still relatively low. I don't think it's 12 o'clock already, and I made a huge distance. It would be so cool if I could make it all the way to Unia Island, or even cross today. Well, that would be probably too much to wish for. But looking good. If I get good winds tomorrow, which there should be, I might make it home. Otherwise Monday, rain, thunderstorms, not good. So it's kind of, I just need a little bit more wind to make it before the rain and the weather changes. I have decided to push some luck. This is Island Unia, and I have a couple miles to go from that side where I can shelter from the south winds. The winds are still here, luckily, otherwise it would be a long paddle, because the only place is behind there, a couple miles. And the sun is gonna set soon, but I'm kind of having a good speed, so I'm happy I did this decision. And tomorrow I have a crossing of Kvarner immediately in the morning. I have around a good 80 miles to Marina Giulia in Italy, where I keep the boat. If I get super lucky tomorrow with south wind, super lucky, I just might get there. A beautiful sunset on horizon, and I just made it to the lighthouse. So just a little bit around the corner and I'm in a bay. Have a good rest, early morning, wake up and sail across Kvarner. Many boats coming to this place. It's gonna be strong south winds, so this is a good spot. And you can see it's very shallow here, because you're supposed to go around that lighthouse, but now I'm kind of hoping I can make it across here. It's gonna be very shallow. So I have my dagger boards up, and it's getting very shallow. Well, in worst case I'm just gonna jump in and walk. But you can see if the land is very low, that's a good sign that, you know, the water is shallow. Well, so far so good. Let's hope I don't sink my boat here for the stupid reason. And there's the town Unia. That's just a beautiful town, just a great small sleepy village, and this great bay. So nice here, I just love it. It's just beautiful coming here, and such a nice smell from the land. Oh, there's a stand-up paddle just crossing the sun right now. Hooked some unmarked nets. Terrible. Okay, here we go. So I'm expecting winds from there, quite a strong one during the night. So I'm gonna find a good shelter. So this seems like very flat, but just behind those, whatever that vegetation is, that looks like much better shelter. So I'm just gonna go in there in between. I hope it's a good hole there. Dropped my anchor here in sand, so it's gonna be a very good hold, and just probably 2 meters deep. And just seems like there is no wind. You see, if you look out there, there's a lot of wind, but right here behind this, there is no wind, which is very good. It's quite an open bay, so there might be some waves coming from ships, but otherwise it's gonna be a good spot for tonight. Just beautiful. Sunset, super shallow, sandy water. If there would be sun, this would be like a paradise. So now quickly clean the boat, sort the sails, and go for a swim. What a great evening, and I just made it to here. It was just right. Early morning, everybody's still sleeping. Sun is just about to rise behind the hills. I'm more or less ready. I put the sail up and then I sail across Kvarner. There is some wind out there, but I would need more. So we'll see how far I can get today. Maybe I'm lucky, get to Italy. Probably not, but would be nice. There's some high quality beef on this island. This has to be a good burger. Grass fed in this great environment. So I'm now crossing, and because it's very moisture, I don't see Istria, I don't see my destination. I can still see some of my Unje, and actually I don't have even compass. I could use a phone, but what I'm using is, see down there, there's a sailing boat which has a similar speed that I have, and I think that it's going directly where I'm going, because that's where everybody goes, right? They go around the point of Istria. So what I'm doing is I'm just watching where they go, and that's my line of you know, orientation. Super cool. So I'm having some winds. It could be more. It's a decent speed, but I just picked up a little bit. That's what I would need all day minimum. So I hope the winds pick up a little bit more. Successfully arrived to south tip of Istria, and now just going up north along the coast. No more big passages. The sun is still quite low, which is a good sign, so I obviously had a good speed. The crossing was 15 nautical miles, 15 nautical miles. So we have 65 left to go. Having good speed now. Winds have developed, south winds. Oops, should use two hands. So I'm having good speed now. Down there Brioni, and then in front of me you can see Rovin. So I'm having a pretty good speed, and if these winds last, that's gonna be really good. The wind pick up. Down there I can see Vrsar just passing Rovin, and yeah, a lot of wind. It's picking up. I'm still under gen anchor. I want maximum speed. I have problem with these waves. When there's a big wave, it's just hitting my trampoline all the time, and it kind of slows me down. It's like a handbrake, and when there's a bigger wave, it gets even worse. I was doing so well till the wind died. 20 miles from my final destination. I did 60 miles today. I had such a good wind, but now they just dropped. So tomorrow I try my luck again. This is Umag. I'm gonna stop just next to it for the last night. Tomorrow hopefully not too much storms, so I can make it for the last 20 miles. Early morning there should be some morning winds. And I'm slowly going towards my bay. And this is gonna be the bay for tonight. Not the nicest, but this is where the wind stopped. And there's a kind of this thing to protect me from the storm. So it's far from what I would wish for, but hey, it's here. It's relatively calm. And then tomorrow 20 miles to Monfalcone. Hopefully some good winds. Last night hopefully here on the boat. I have checked the weather and tomorrow storms, so there's no way, and then the rest of the week very bad. So my only chance is this night wind. So now the sun is almost set in the clouds, and if I'm lucky I'm gonna get this, you know, offshore winds, and seems like they're here. I can feel them already. See, I'm moving very slowly, but they'll pick up more. And I have 20 miles to go, so it's gonna be a night sail, but that's my only chance if I wanna get to Monfalcone. Otherwise it means staying here for a couple days on rain, windy, which I don't want to do. So I have good weather until tomorrow 9 in the morning, and that should be plenty. If I get good winds I should be there in a couple hours. I have this crossing of 12 miles to do. So this is Umag, and you can see the bad weather. It's coming, it's gonna be here in the morning, and then the summer is over. You can see I'm slightly moving, so the winds are slowly starting. I just need more of them. I have my dry suit half ready, and I'm so happy I took it. Sandyline dry suit. It was with me everywhere, and today it's gonna bring me to Italy. One of the best things is it has this relief zipper, so you can, you know, use it whenever you want. Because when you're in this neoprenes and stuff, you cannot really, you know, like, it's kind of, you don't want to do it inside, right? So but then you have to put everything off. So this is way better. I love this design. So just hoping that these winds now pick up. I can feel them slightly. Winds are slowly picking up. And this night winds, they're so much fun to sail because the wind is coming, you know, from land, from shore. So there's never much waves, just wind and flat water. It's so much fun, just gently gliding through the water. Sunrise. I have sailed all night. It started really well, but then I came in front of Piran and then everything stopped. And I was more or less trying to sail, paddle a little bit all night. Now I have some winds, very slowly. So I have around 6 miles to go, and this is going painfully slow. Like, I had really good winds at the beginning of the night, and I thought I'm gonna be here in a couple hours, but then it just stretched out the whole night and still painfully slow. Well, the sunrise is nice, but otherwise that's why we invented engines for. There's 4 miles to go, and in a couple hours the rain starts, the storms, and very strong wind. So I just hardly made it. I mean, haven't yet, but I think these winds are gonna bring me to shore, and then I'm gonna eat and sleep. Wind is picking up, so I'm coming home in style with some surfing. It's always nice to come home in style with a Janneker. I can see the Monfalcone shipyard, and Marina Julia is a little bit to the left. Oops. Wind shift. Okay, that happens when you play with GoPro. No. Okay. A little bit gusty winds. Anyway, it was a nice trip. I'm a little bit tired from not sleeping all night, but that's gonna be easy to fix. Enjoy. I just made it, and when we say storm, we mean storm. So I was just like 1 hour before this huge storm is gonna hit us. Started raining, a little bit sun, it's coming. That's gonna be a big one. Already raining, and this is the club, Marina Julia, great place.